My mom is actually helping me out. I got 7 out of 10 on the quiz.
That is excellent.
Yes. Gonna do the language farts.
Retell a story. People read and write for many different reasons. Sometimes, what you read can be difficult to understand. For example, you might be asked to explain to a friend an article that you read in the newspaper. Sometimes you have to restate or retell what you've read in order to understand it. Part of retelling what you've read involves understanding what you've read. How can you help make sense of difficult material? Start by knowing what resources are available. Dictionaries are very useful for defining unfamiliar words. If no dictionary is available, you may be able to figure out a word's meaning by its context, the meaning of the words around it. If the entire concept is unfamiliar, you can consult an encyclopedia or the internet. Once you learn more about the topic, the reading material often becomes easier to read.
You gave me rubies!
Yay!
Learning a story. In order to retell a story well, you need to know the details of the story very thoroughly. You may need to read a story a dozen times until you feel as though you truly understand the story well. Use your resources to help you through any unfamiliar parts. Good storytellers use words to paint pictures of the stories they tell. The key to successful storytelling is to capture the details and ideas of the story while retelling it in your own words. One method that might help
I'm
you
not
do this
so
is to
good with
outline a story.
gliding. Oh
On a
my
separate
goodness.
sheet of paper,
I'm so good
you
with
write a
gliding
list of events
for some
in order
I'm
that
glad
happen in
you
the
are.
story.
I'm not good at
For
gliding.
example, the
Except for
outline
the
for
target
Three
one,
Little
because
Pigs
sometimes
might
I
look
miss
like
out on
this.
the target
There were three
when you
little
land at
pigs.
the end.
One had a house made of straw. One had a house made of sticks. One had a house
I might
made of
make
bricks.
it.
The wolf wanted to eat the pigs. He blew down the straw house.
I did it!
Blew down the stick
Yay!
house. He couldn't
Made
blow
it.
down the brick house. He climbed down the chimney of the brick house and landed on the fire. Retelling. Select a short story, folktale, or fable to retell. Read the story several times to yourself. As you read, note the key ideas of the story that are crucial. First, try to retell the story to yourself out loud. After a few trial runs, retell the story to your guide or a friend. Some possible
Oh, the
stories
balloon
to choose
thingy.
from include
Oh boy.
Goldilocks
No
and the
crashing.
Three Bears, Cinderella, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Owl and the Pussycat. Once you have selected a story, read it as many times as you need to feel familiar with it. Use any resources to help you understand it. Write an outline of the basic ideas. Illustration of the wolf in sheep's clothing. Practice with this story. Read through this short section of a story. It may contain some unfamiliar words or ideas. Use your resources to define the unfamiliar words and create an outline of the story. Then retell the story by typing it, in your own words, into your notebook. For the first time in his 11 years, Harry was truly alone. He had only lost sight of his mother for a minute. No, not even a minute, 15 seconds at the most. But in the throng of humanity, her dusty coat and gray pants blended her indistinguishably into the hundreds of other harried shoppers who had flocked to the mall. Did she know he wasn't by her side? Was she, at this moment, feeling the fear that he felt? Or did she even realize he was gone? Trying to keep his composure, Harry made his way through the store, searching for a safe harbor, the mall security office. Practice with nonfiction. It is equally important to be able to retell the facts of an article or nonfiction piece. Read through the paragraphs below and retype them in your own words in your notebook. More than 5,000 people lined the streets of New Orleans on Thursday for a parade to honor one of the city's newest citizens, already one of its best loved. Lieutenant Bronwyn Kelsey of the New Orleans Police Department waved to the appreciative crowd from the convertible that drove her slowly down Canal Street.
I'm no good with these
34,
either.
had recently moved to New Orleans from Gary, Indiana, to join the
Yeah,
police
because
force
I
there.
heard
Her
you
bravery
sometimes
and
accidentally
deductive skills combined to
release
make her
the
an invaluable
mushroom.
player in this city's law enforcement, in the words of the mayor. The parade culminated at the Superdome with Kelsey receiving the police department's citation of valor from Police Captain Richard Chandler, Kelsey's commanding officer. Apply your knowledge. Find an interesting newspaper article, or search the internet to find an online newspaper article to read and retell. Read the news article carefully. Underline the important facts from the article. Based on what you've underlined, create a list of important facts. Use this list to rewrite and retell the article to a friend. Retell, relearn. Storytellers are masters at the art of retelling. They listen to stories, learn them, and then tell those stories in their own words. This same process can be used to understand many different types of writing. In this learning activity, you will learn to retell the main points of a story or piece of nonfiction to show your understanding of written materials. Summarizing or retelling. What is the difference between summarizing and retelling? To summarize is to condense information. For example, you might read a 90-page book and summarize it in a 2-page essay. To retell is to state information in a different way. Retelling is not always a much shorter way of conveying information. For example, you might read a really interesting story in a magazine that you would like to share with a friend. If your friend isn't as familiar with the subject matter as you are, you might retell the story in simpler terms. Your retelling of the story might be only slightly shorter than the original story. In order to retell information, you must first understand and comprehend what you have read. Retelling is a way of conveying what you have learned. Reading for meaning. With your guide, read Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address, which he gave on November 19, 1863. 7 years ago our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field, as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow, this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it, far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note, nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Yep. Ooh. Ooh. Nice high score there.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Understanding the text. Print the Gettysburg Address from the previous screen. Read through the text again carefully. Underline the important parts of the reading. In your notebook, type a list of the main ideas of the Gettysburg Address. Lincoln delivering the Gettysburg Address.
Yes, spaghettis.
What do you think? What do you think are the most important ideas from the Gettysburg Address? Look over your list of main ideas. What do you think is the main point of Lincoln's speech? Explain your conclusion to your guide. Retell the Gettysburg Address. Now it's time for you to retell the Gettysburg Address in your own words.
Spaghetti!
You should have a good understanding of what Lincoln was trying to say in his famous speech. Retell the Gettysburg Address in your own words in a way that a younger student would understand.
What do you think? This entire thing in the blue bird from that one time for learning history thing.
I'm going to find Morocco on the globe to see if I can visit my friend who lives there. Darn, what's wrong? The Atlantic Ocean is between here and Morocco. We can't walk or drive to get there.
That's right, girl. The largest areas of land on the Earth are called continents, and most are separated by oceans.
Oh, look, there's a continent called Iceland that I'd like to visit someday.
Actually, Jay, Iceland is an island, not a continent. Islands are smaller pieces of land than continents. They are surrounded by oceans.
What are the names of the continents? And
Your
are
face
there any
is cute.
islands that make up a whole country? What do you think?
Select an answer and then select Submit. Have you or your friends or family visited other continents? No. Let's learn about continents and islands. Let's look at the globe again. Here is Africa, the continent where Morocco is. And here is North America, where the United States is. A continent is one of the 6 major pieces of land on Earth. Unlike the oceans, the continents do not all connect. In fact, the continents are mostly or completely surrounded by oceans. The 6 continents are North America, South America, Africa, Eurasia, Australia, and Antarctica.
Wait, on this globe, most of the continents have their own color. But Eurasia has 2 colors. Why is that?
Many years ago, people called Europe and Asia different continents. But, as you can see on the map, they are one big piece of land. In fact, they form the largest continent. Today, that continent is known as Eurasia. Most continents are divided into many countries. Smaller pieces of land that are surrounded by ocean, but not big enough to be continents, are called islands. Some islands are also countries. Iceland and Cuba each take up just one island. Other nations like Japan, Indonesia, and New Zealand are made up of groups of islands. Continents and islands are the types of land we can see surrounded by water on a globe.
So the 6 continents are North America, South America, Eurasia, Africa, Antarctica, and Australia. And some islands or groups of islands that are also countries are Japan, Indonesia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and Cuba.
Select an answer and then select Submit. Which map shows North America? Yes, that continent is North America. Which map shows Australia? Yes, that continent is
I'm
Australia.
doing good so far.
Fill in the blank. A blank is a major piece of land on Earth. Continent. Yes, a continent is a major piece of land.
If I get all of them right, I get candy.
Which map shows Africa? Yes, that continent is Africa. Which map shows Eurasia? Yes, that continent is Eurasia.
I believe I got all of them
Nice.
right.
You completed all the questions.
Yay!
Good job, sweetie.
I'm gonna tell Daddy about it. I got all of them right, Mom.
I'm proud of you, sweetheart.
Thanks.
Smart little girl.
this globe. Did you break it?
Don't worry, Jay. Burl didn't break the globe. It's meant to be that way. Think about the Earth. The Earth has land that is high, low, and flat. And some globes use bumps you can feel to help you understand how features go up and down.
What kind of features can we find on Earth's surface? And can we find the same kind of features in different parts of the world?
What type of candy did you get?
Peppermint, of course.
What do you
Yummy.
think?
Select an answer and then select Submit. Have you ever climbed a hill or a mountain?
I think I did might have climbed the hill. I just don't quite remember.
Yes, I have climbed a hill. Let's learn about mountains and valleys. The bumps and ridges you can feel on a globe help you understand the Earth's features. Mountains are the tallest of these. Mountains are natural features that are very tall and steep, sometimes so tall that there is snow at the top, even in the summer. A mountain range is a line or group of mountains that spreads along the land. This world map shows mountain ranges in the colors brown and tan. The taller the mountains, the darker their color on the map. All of the continents have mountain ranges. The Rockies are a major mountain range in North America. The Himalayas, a mountain range in Eurasia, have the tallest mountains in the world. Mount Everest is one of them. The Ural Mountains are lower mountains. They divide the continent of Eurasia into Europe and Asia. The highest mountain in Africa, Mount Kilimanjaro, was once a volcano. and it stands alone. Not all the raised land on the Earth is as tall as mountains. Hills are high land that is rounder and smaller than mountains. Some of the Earth's surface is very flat. A plain is land that is flat, or nearly flat for a long way. In the United States, the Great Plains stretch through the middle of the country and up into Canada. The Australian Plains in Australia, the Indus Valley Plain in Pakistan, and the Kanto Plain in Japan are plains on other continents. Some features of the Earth go down instead of up. A valley is the lower land that usually lies between two hills or two mountains. Valleys often have rivers or lakes within them. The Lauterbrunnen Valley in Switzerland, the Usma Valley in Russia, and the Yosemite Valley in California are all valleys. A canyon is made when a river flows and carves the soil in rock form. A canyon is a deep valley with steep sides, which usually has a river running through it. The Grand Canyon in the United States, the Toga Gorge in Norway, the Taihong Grand Canyon in China are all canyons carved by rivers.
So the Earth has features like mountains and hills that go up, plains that are flat, and valleys and canyons that go down. Yes, and you can find features like mountains, plains, and valleys on all 6 continents.
Match each word to its definition. Hill. Highland that is rounder and smaller than mountains. Mountain range. Land that is flat or nearly flat for a long way. Mountain range. Mountain range. Lower land that lies between 2 hills or 2 mountains. Mountain range. Mountain range. A line or group of mountains that spreads along the land. Valley. A deep valley with steep sides which usually has a river running through it. Plain. Land that canyon, lower land. Oops, try to match them all. Valley. Lower canyon, a deep valley with steep sides. You match them all correctly. Choose an answer and then select Submit. Fill in the blank. A blank is a line or group of mountains that spreads a range, which is a high stretch of land that is somewhat rounded at the top. Hill. Choose the vocabulary word that best matches the definition. Lower land that lies between 2 hills or 2 mountains. Valley. Choose the picture that best represents a plain. A long stretch of very flat land.
What? I'll show you after this game. It's actually really good. I'll show you after you were playing. Okay, sweetie. Like after you're done playing. Yeah, I hate the blue shell. In my opinion, because it's annoying. Yeah, it is. And sometimes Makes you like fall down. When you're about to do a ramp jump and boom, you just fall down. Look.
Excellent job, 100%.
Thank you. Time for reading. Wait, do I have to read? Just asking.
Yeah, did you do your history, science, and everything?
Yep.
Okay.
Time to do, let's see, if there's, like any new stuff, and I don't see any new stuff. continue reading. Hmm? I'm gonna read Time Buddy because it looks cute.
Epic Originals presents Time Buddies, Volume 2, Book 6, Cream of the Century.
Cream.
Written by Stephanie Cook. Illustrated by Eduardo Medeiros. Performed by Taylor Masterman and Matthew Bridges.
Time Buddies. Book 6. Cream of the Century.
Oh, it's a cute little owl.
Holt and Bentley travel to the 1920s and become hard-boiled, or more like sunny side up, private investigators. Can they crack the case and expose the secret of Bad Cow Bone?
Dark place!
You time jumped into my closet again, Hoot.
Oh, right. Boy, that happens every time. What you watching, Bebop?
An old crime movie for a school project. It's a film style called New War.
It's all in black and white.
Yeah, it's really old. From before films were in color. This one's set during the Roaring 20s.
Who's that doing the talking?
That's the off-screen narrator. Super common in these old movies.
I'd love someone to narrate my life. Now that we've got my chrono belt figured out, we could go see this all for ourselves.
Hoot, this is a movie. It's fiction.
You ever hear the saying, fiction is realer than real life?
No.
Oh, I could have sworn. Doesn't matter. We're off to the Roaring 20s. And if there are
Wow.
any dinosaurs, it's totally false advertising.
Wow, we're in a real PI's office.
Wait, the Pizza Illuminati?
The Pizza Illuminati.
Oh, they know you.
Dress up.
I'm in black and white. How am I in black and white? This is unbelievable. The whole world is in black and white.
Wow!
Oh, it's pretty.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Check out this hat. I think I can pull it off. Is this the S-Spade?
I got the Yoshi badge.
Investigators?
Yay.
I love Yoshi.
Sure is. I'm Hoot Spade, and that's Bentley, my partner.
Then I'll cut to the chase. The name's Moolity.